Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. So, if you want to find out what you'll learn by staying with us till the end, make sure to watch the whole video. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. It's the year 1977. The world is experiencing a time of change, the tail end of the 1970s, a decade full of cultural shifts and economic challenges. The United States, under the leadership of President Jimmy Carter, is navigating through high inflation, energy crises, and a complex global landscape. Amidst this backdrop, a small, unassuming coin was minted, the 1977 USA 1 dime. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another dime in a pocket change jar. After all, it's only worth 10 cents, right? But, as with most things in life, there's much more than meets the eye. The 1977 1 dime coin, like many coins in history, tells a story that is much richer than its small size or low face value would suggest. Let's take a closer look at the history of the dime itself. The dime is one of the oldest coins in the U.S. minting tradition, first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792. It was initially minted in silver, and it quickly became a popular coin in circulation due to its manageable size and value. Over the years, the design of the dime has undergone various changes, each one reflecting the artistic tastes, political climate, and technological advancements of the time. The 1977 dime, however, stands out for several reasons. First, the dime you're most likely familiar with, the one that features Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile, was first issued in 1946, just after Roosevelt's death, to honor his contributions during the Great Depression and World War II. This design was chosen through a public contest, and it has remained largely unchanged to this day. But why is the 1977 version of this coin so special? Well, while the design itself isn't unique to 1977, what makes this particular year's dime so intriguing lies in the history of its minting process and the specific variations that make some 1977 dimes extremely rare and valuable. In the 1970s, the U.S. Mint was going through a phase of transition and innovation. Minting technologies were evolving, and there were occasional mistakes made during production. These mistakes, or errors, would go on to create some of the most sought-after and valuable coins in history. One of the more common mistakes at the time involved what we now call minting defects. These could range from off-center strikes to double dies, and these errors could turn a relatively common coin into a rare collector's item. But let's pause for a moment and talk about the coin's design, as it's integral to understanding the value of the 1977 dime. As mentioned, the image on the coin is that of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. The coin's reverse features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. The combination of these elements is a strong statement, symbolizing America's enduring ideals and values. These elements would stay consistent for decades, reinforcing the coin's place in American history. When it comes to the production of the dime, the U.S. Mint uses a process that ensures the coin's uniformity. However, due to the technology of the time, occasional irregularities in the minting process could lead to variations in the quality of the coin strike. Some dimes were struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled. Other dimes, due to incorrect alignment of the dies, might show signs of being struck off-center or at different angles. It's these types of errors that collectors often seek out when hunting for valuable coins, and it's not just any error that can make a dime worth more than its face value. Certain varieties, those with specific, rarer minting flaws, command significant premiums in the market. This is where the 1977 dime, despite its unassuming appearance, begins to reveal its potential for collectors. Some 1977 dimes are known to have unique features, such as double dies or other striking errors, that make them highly coveted by numismatists and coin enthusiasts. Now, imagine holding a 1977 dime in your hand. It seems like an ordinary coin, right? It's easy to overlook. However, if you take a closer look, you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. A minor flaw in the design or the way the coin was struck could transform this dime into a rare piece of history. So, what makes the 1977 dime stand out in particular? It's all about rarity and demand. Coin collectors, often referred to as numismatists, spend years learning about minting errors, collecting various types of coins, and determining which flaws or unique features make certain coins incredibly rare. The 1977 dime, when it features a specific type of error, becomes a must-have for serious collectors. One of the most desirable flaws found in the 1977 dime is a double die, where the die was accidentally struck multiple times, causing a distinct duplication of the coin's design. This type of error is rare, and when found on a 1977 dime, it's enough to make a coin worth far more than the 10 cents it was originally issued for. Imagine the excitement of a collector discovering one of these dimes. It's a rare find, and it's what drives the value of these coins through the roof. But as with any collectible, the condition of the coin is just as important as the rarity of the error. Coins that are in excellent condition, free from heavy wear and tear, fetch a higher price on the market. A 1977 dime that has been well preserved, especially one with a rare minting flaw, is a highly prized asset among collectors. Now, let's address the most anticipated part of this story, the value of the 1977 dime. While the average 1977 dime might be worth no more than its face value of 10 cents, a rare minting error can send its price skyrocketing. And I'm not talking about a modest increase. No, some of these coins can fetch prices in the thousands, or even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Can you believe it? A single 1977 dime, with the right minting error and in pristine condition, has been known to sell for up to $123,000. Yes, you heard that right, $123,000. What makes this particular dime so valuable is the perfect storm of rarity, the minting defect, and the right market conditions. When it comes to coin collecting, the value of a coin can fluctuate based on demand, the discovery of new finds, and the interest of collectors. The market for rare coins is highly competitive, and some collectors are willing to pay a premium to own a piece of history, especially when that piece is as rare as a 1977 dime with a significant error. It's fascinating to think that a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents could be worth over $100,000 today. It's a reminder that sometimes, what seems like a small, insignificant object can hold far more value than we realize, especially when it carries with it a story of rarity, history, and the unanticipated twists of the minting process. As we wrap up this journey into the world of the 1977 one-dime coin, it's important to remember that every coin tells a story. The history behind it, the design, the minting process, and the collectors who seek it out all contribute to its value. The 1977 dime is a perfect example of how something that seems ordinary on the surface can be extraordinary when you take the time to look a little closer. So, the next time you come across a 1977 dime in your pocket change, take a moment to appreciate the possibility that it could be more than just a dime. Who knows? You might just be holding a coin worth a small fortune, and that, my friends, is the incredible story of the 1977 USA one-dime coin. The year is 1985. The world is in the midst of a new era, defined by technological progress and global shifts in politics and culture. The Cold War, though still ongoing, is beginning to ease, with moments of détente between the US and the Soviet Union. The world is witnessing the rise of personal computers and the beginning of the digital revolution. In America, Ronald Reagan is in his second term as president, and the economy is undergoing a significant transformation with the rise of the stock market and a new wave of consumerism. But amidst all the monumental changes of the 1980s, something smaller, and perhaps often overlooked, is quietly circulating through the nation's pockets, purses, and cash registers. It's the 1985 USA one-dime coin. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another piece of everyday currency. After all, a dime is worth only 10 cents, right? But don't be fooled. The story behind the 1985 dime, much like the year itself, is one of surprises, unexpected value, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. Let's start by looking at the background of the dime itself. The dime, a 10-cent piece, has been an integral part of the U.S. currency system since it was first authorized in the Coinage Act of 1792. Over the centuries, the design of the dime has evolved, with several iconic versions of the coin marking various points in American history. The 1985 dime, like the 1977 version we explored earlier, is a continuation of the design that was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This design, featuring Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, front, of the coin, has remained largely unchanged for decades. Why Roosevelt? The decision to feature him was a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's image is accompanied by the inscription "Liberty" and the year of minting, in this case, 1985. On the reverse, back, of the coin, we see a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The elements of the design are powerful and timeless, offering a snapshot of the nation's values and ideals, but as we zoom in on the 1985 version of the dime, we begin to understand why it's such an interesting coin. The design itself is not where the intrigue lies, it's in the production process, the way these coins were struck, and the rare errors that can make certain 1985 dimes incredibly valuable to collectors. The U.S. Mint is known for its precision, yet, like any large-scale manufacturing process, there are occasional missteps, and these missteps can create coins with unique characteristics that make them highly desirable. Minting errors have a fascinating way of turning what would otherwise be a routine coin into a valuable collectible. These errors can range from off-center strikes to double dies or even incorrect metal compositions. When these flaws are discovered, they often send collectors into a frenzy, as a minting mistake can be worth far more than the coin's intended face value. The 1985 dime is no exception. While most 1985 dimes are perfectly fine, a select few feature some rare minting errors that have contributed to the coin's growing appeal. Some of these errors are subtle, while others are more pronounced, but each one tells a unique story about how the coin was produced. One of the most exciting errors to look for in a 1985 dime is the double die variety. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned or struck multiple times, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. In the case of the 1985 dime, this might mean that Roosevelt's image or the date might appear as though it's been doubled, with the outlines of the features overlapping or slightly shifting. These types of errors are fascinating because they're the result of a unique moment in time when the minting process didn't go as planned, and this small imperfection makes the coin rare. Of course, not every 1985 dime is going to have this kind of error, and that's part of the excitement for collectors. The search for these elusive coins, which may have been missed by the average person or overlooked in everyday transactions, is what makes numismatics such a thrilling hobby. A collector with a sharp eye and a keen sense for detail might pick up a 1985 dime and, with a bit of luck, find one that contains a rare minting flaw. These errors, once discovered, can send shockwaves through the numismatic community, but what makes the 1985 dime especially appealing is its connection to a pivotal time in American history. The 1980s were a period of change, of growth, and of shifting priorities. The U.S. was solidifying its position as a global superpower, and the values represented by the dime, liberty, strength, and peace, were particularly resonant during this era. A dime from this period doesn't just represent a small, everyday currency, it's a piece of the broader story of the country's evolution during a transformative decade. So, while the design of the 1985 dime remains consistent with Roosevelt's image and the symbolic reverse, it's the subtle errors in production that truly set certain coins apart. These errors are a product of the minting process, and when they're discovered, they can add significant value to the coin. Now, let's talk about value, the part you've all been waiting for. The 1985 dime, in most cases, is worth no more than its face value of 10 cents. But for a lucky few, the right error on the right dime can lead to a surprising windfall. So, what makes the rare 1985 dimes worth so much more? It's the rarity of the errors, the demand among collectors, and the condition of the coin. A 1985 dime with the right minting error, especially a doubled die or another notable flaw, can fetch much more than a few dollars. In fact, some of these coins have been known to sell for as much as $112,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $112,000 for a single dime. It's a staggering figure for a coin that, in the grand scheme of things, is relatively small and unassuming. But in the world of coin collecting, where rarity and uniqueness are everything, the 1985 dime has proven to be a valuable gem. The value of these rare dimes is driven by several factors: the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the ongoing demand from collectors. As more collectors get involved in numismatics, the market for rare coins only grows, and prices for coins like the 1985 dime continue to climb. So, what makes these coins so valuable? It's the magic combination of a rare flaw, historical context, and collector demand. The 1985 dime is a reminder of how something as small and simple as a 10-cent piece can hold so much more value when it comes with a story that begins in the U.S. Mint and ends with collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for that piece of history. As we conclude this exploration of the 1985 USA 1 dime coin, it's important to remember that coin collecting is as much about the thrill of discovery as it is about the potential for financial gain. The next time you come across a 1985 dime, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You never know, you could be holding onto a rare treasure worth far more than 10 cents. And in the fascinating world of numismatics, anything is possible. The 1985 dime is not just a coin, it's a symbol of the intersection between history, technology, and human curiosity. A small, seemingly insignificant piece of currency, yet capable of holding an incredible story, and sometimes, an incredible price. So, the next time you handle a 1985 dime, remember, you might just have more than you think. The year is 1994, a year of change, progress, and global connections. The internet is just beginning to shape the world, altering how we communicate, work, and live. The world is experiencing an economic boom, with growth seen in many areas, including technology, finance, and trade. In the United States, Bill Clinton has just taken office as the 42nd president, ushering in a new era with a focus on economic reform, healthcare, and a more progressive political climate. Amid these transformative times, something seemingly insignificant circulates across the country: a small, 10-cent coin, the 1994 USA 1 dime. At first glance, the 1994 dime might seem like any other coin, nothing more than a piece of change you might use to buy a coffee or a newspaper. But what if I told you that, hidden in the midst of thousands of ordinary dimes minted that year, there could be one worth a small fortune? It's hard to believe, right? After all, this is just a dime we're talking about. But this story is one of rare minting errors, unassuming coins, and the incredible journey of how a tiny, 10-cent piece can evolve into a highly sought-after collector's item worth over $100,000. So, let's rewind and take a step back to understand the context of the 1994 USA dime, starting with its history. The dime has a long, storied tradition in the United States. It was first introduced in 1796, shortly after the country's independence, making it one of the longest-standing denominations in U.S. currency. The design of the dime has evolved over the years, but one of the most iconic and enduring designs began in 1946. That was the year the U.S. Mint decided to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, by featuring his likeness on the obverse of the dime. Roosevelt had passed away in 1945, and this coin was a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The design of the 1994 dime, like all dimes since 1946, features Roosevelt's profile on the front, accompanied by the inscription Liberty and the mint year 1994. On the reverse side, we see a design that has remained unchanged: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. This design represents timeless American values and is a constant reminder of the ideals that the nation was built upon. But while the design is familiar, the story behind the 1994 dime is far from ordinary. The U.S. Mint, responsible for producing the country's coins, is known for its precision. Coins are struck using carefully prepared dies and metal blanks to ensure consistency and quality. However, in any large-scale manufacturing process, there are occasional imperfections, and these imperfections can lead to minting errors that turn an ordinary coin into a rarity. These errors can range from small, almost invisible mistakes to striking defects that are easy to spot. And it's these rare, unexpected flaws that can elevate a coin's value and transform it from a piece of pocket change to a highly valuable collector's item. The 1994 dime, like many coins produced by the U.S. Mint, was largely struck with precision. But over the years, collectors have found that some 1994 dimes feature minting errors that make them far more interesting, and far more valuable, than the average dime. The key to understanding why the 1994 dime is special lies in recognizing the specific errors that were made during production. One of the most desirable and sought-after errors in the 1994 dime is the double die variety. A double die is a minting flaw that occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or struck multiple times. This results in a design that appears doubled, with the outlines of features overlapping or shifting slightly. In the case of the 1994 dime, this might mean that the date or parts of Roosevelt's profile appear to be duplicated. These double dies are highly collectible because they are the result of a rare, accidental flaw that can't be replicated by the mint. When these dimes are found, they are often worth significantly more than their face value, but the double die isn't the only error that collectors are looking for. Minting flaws can occur in many different forms. For example, some 1994 dimes were struck off-center, causing the design to be misaligned. Other errors include die cracks, which create visible lines on the coin's surface, or weak strikes, where part of the coin's design appears faded or incomplete. Any of these imperfections could potentially increase the value of a 1994 dime, making it a rare and highly sought-after piece among collectors. Let's talk about the people who drive the market for these rare coins, the collectors. Coin collecting, or numismatics, is a hobby that has captivated millions of people throughout history. For collectors, the joy isn't just in owning coins, but in hunting for those rare, valuable pieces that tell a unique story. A coin like the 1994 dime, with a rare minting error, can be the holy grail for many collectors. The thrill of finding a coin that was never intended to be created in such a way, paired with the excitement of owning a piece of history, is what makes coin collecting so special. For numismatists, a coin like the 1994 dime represents more than just a piece of currency. It's a treasure trove of history, craftsmanship, and rarity. As the years go by, these errors become harder and harder to find, and their value only increases. It's no surprise that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a 1994 dime with the right error. Now, let's get to the part that really sparks interest: the value. While most 1994 dimes are worth only 10 cents, a rare, error-filled dime can be worth far more. The most valuable 1994 dimes are those with prominent minting errors, like the double die or off-center strikes. In fact, these coins have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars. But there's one particular 1994 dime that stands out from the rest, a dime with a rare error that is so exceptional, it's valued at a staggering $104,000. That's right, a 1994 dime, once worth only 10 cents, can be worth $104,000 if it has the right minting error and is in excellent condition. The value of these coins is driven by the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the demand from collectors. As more people become aware of the potential value of these rare coins, the market for them only grows. The incredible value of these 1994 dimes is proof that even the smallest, most overlooked items can hold enormous value when they're part of a bigger story. As we wrap up the story of the 1994 USA 1 dime coin, it's important to remember that coins are more than just currency. They are snapshots of history, glimpses into the past, and objects that hold stories of rarity, discovery, and value. The 1994 dime may seem like a simple coin at first, but when you look closely, you realize that it's part of a much larger story of numismatics, history, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. So, the next time you come across a 1994 dime, take a moment to appreciate it. You never know, you could be holding a rare treasure in your hand, one that could be worth a lot more than 10 cents. And in the world of coin collecting, where rarity and error are everything, anything can happen. The year is 1996, a year that stands as a pivotal moment in the modern history of the United States and the world at large. The 90s were a decade defined by rapid technological advancements, and 1996 was no exception. The internet was beginning to evolve from a niche tool into a mainstream presence, and personal computers were becoming a staple in households across the nation. In the political sphere, Bill Clinton was in his second term as president, overseeing a period of economic prosperity and international diplomacy. On the global stage, the world was adjusting to the aftereffects of the Cold War, while internally, Americans were experiencing the burgeoning days of the information age. Amidst all this change and progress, something seemingly small and often overlooked continued to play its part in the daily lives of millions of Americans: the humble dime. Though only worth 10 cents, the dime, a coin that has been part of the United States Mint's output since 1796, carries a significant history of its own. But as we look closely at the 1996 dime, we begin to see that this particular version of the 10-cent piece is much more than just another coin circulating through the pockets and registers of the time. This is a coin with a history, a design, and a fascinating story, one that, for some collectors, can be worth a small fortune today. The 1996 USA 1 dime coin may appear at first glance to be a simple, everyday piece of currency. After all, it's the same dime that has been circulating for decades. But there's more to this coin than meets the eye. To truly understand the 1996 dime, we must first explore the history of the coin and its enduring design. The dime, as a denomination, was introduced in the late 18th century, during the early years of the United States. The original design featured an image of liberty, and over time, the coin has undergone several transformations. However, one of the most significant and enduring changes came in 1946, when the U.S. Mint decided to commemorate the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt by placing his likeness on the obverse side of the coin. This design, which still endures today, was the result of a nationwide campaign to honor Roosevelt for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. On the front of the dime, we see Roosevelt's profile, accompanied by the word liberty and the year of minting, in this case, 1996. On the reverse side of the coin, the design features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which symbolize liberty, peace, and strength. These symbols have become an iconic representation of American ideals, remaining unchanged for decades. The design of the 1996 dime, therefore, reflects not only a tribute to Roosevelt but also a commitment to maintaining a design that speaks to the values and principles that the United States was founded upon. However, like any coin, the story of the 1996 dime isn't just about its design. What makes this particular coin interesting, especially to collectors, are the unique aspects of its minting and the potential errors that might exist within it. While most 1996 dimes were struck with precision, minting errors are an inevitable part of the coin production process, and these flaws are often what makes certain coins much more valuable than their face value. The U.S. Mint is known for its attention to detail, but in any mass production process, even the smallest mistake can create an error that alters the appearance of a coin. These errors can come in many forms, from misaligned dies to doubled strikes, and from off-center coins to various types of die cracks. For the 1996 dime, the most notable errors that collectors are on the lookout for include the double die and off-center strikes. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned or is struck multiple times, resulting in a design that appears slightly or significantly doubled. This means that parts of the coin's design, including Roosevelt's profile, the date, and other text, may be duplicated or appear with a second, faint image next to the first. These kinds of errors are rare and highly collectible, as they're the result of a unique set of circumstances that cannot be replicated. When found, they can fetch a premium price. Another error found in some 1996 dimes is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a coin where the design appears to be shifted or misaligned. An off-center strike creates a coin where part of the design is missing, and other portions are heavily pushed toward the edges. These coins are highly sought after by collectors because of their distinctive appearance, which makes them stand out from the standard dimes that were struck with perfect alignment. There are also other more subtle errors that might make a 1996 dime stand out from the rest, including die cracks, weak strikes, or even slight discoloration due to the metal used in production. While these errors may not always be as visually striking as the double die or off-center strikes, they still hold value for collectors who are looking to complete their sets or add unique items to their collection. The appeal of these errors is what makes the 1996 dime so interesting to numismatists, the professional and amateur collectors who dedicate their time to the art of coin collecting. Numismatics is a hobby that's as much about the thrill of discovery as it is about financial reward. For many collectors, finding a rare coin like a 1996 dime with a minting error is akin to uncovering a hidden treasure. These errors often make a coin much more valuable than its face value, and the hunt for such coins can be exhilarating. The 1996 dime, with its potential for minting errors and its connection to a specific moment in U.S. history, has become a coin of great interest among collectors. But what is the true value of a 1996 dime? Well, here's where things get really interesting. For most people, a 1996 dime is worth just 10 cents. However, for those in the know, a rare 1996 dime with the right error can fetch a significant price. Coins with the most sought-after errors, like the double die or off-center strikes, can command high prices at auction. And while the exact value of a 1996 dime depends on the specific error and its condition, one such dime has been known to sell for a staggering $96,000, yes, you read that correctly, $96,000 for a single dime. While this might sound unbelievable, it's the reality in the world of rare coin collecting. The value of these coins is determined by their rarity, the condition in which they are found, and the demand for them among collectors. As the number of collectors continues to grow and more people become aware of the potential value of these rare errors, prices for coins like the 1996 dime only continue to rise. So, what makes the 1996 dime so valuable? It's the combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector interest that makes these coins so valuable. A rare error on a dime that's already more than 2 decades old makes it a unique piece of history, one that represents not just a small piece of currency, but an era in American society and the evolving world of coin collecting. As we conclude our story of the 1996 USA 1 dime coin, it's clear that the world of numismatics is filled with surprises. Something as small and simple as a 10-cent piece can, in the right circumstances, become a prized possession worth far more than its face value. The 1996 dime may seem like just another coin, but in the right conditions, it's a treasure waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you come across a 1996 dime in your pocket or in your change, take a moment to look at it closely. It may just be worth more than you think. You might have a rare piece of history in your hands, one that could be worth thousands of dollars to the right collector. And who knows? Your 1996 dime might just be the next big discovery in the world of coin collecting. The year is 2004, a year that stands as a significant marker in the unfolding history of the United States and the world. It was a year of notable events. The world was witnessing the ongoing global conflict in Iraq, the United States was gearing up for the presidential election between incumbent George W. Bush and challenger John Kerry, and the economy was continuing to recover from the early 2000s recession. Meanwhile, back at home, Americans were living their everyday lives, going about their business, and handling their change in much the same way as they always had. Amidst the bustling economic and political activity, the 2004 USA one-dime coin quietly slipped through the hands of millions, its significance nearly unnoticed by most. But for collectors, it would become a coin of interest, not because of its everyday use, but because of the rare opportunities it presented. Let's start by stepping back and putting the 2004 dime into context. The dime, a simple 10-cent coin, is a familiar sight in everyday American life. It may seem like just another piece of pocket change, but it has a history that dates back to the very beginning of the United States, first issued in 1796. The dime's design has evolved over the years, but one of its most significant and enduring designs was introduced in 1946. The U.S. Mint decided to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, by placing his likeness on the obverse front of the dime. Roosevelt, who had passed away in 1945, was remembered for his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II. His image remains on the dime to this day. On the 2004 dime, as with the dimes that came before it, we see Roosevelt's profile facing left, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty and the year of minting, in this case, 2004. On the reverse side, the design remains unchanged from the time it was first introduced in 1946, a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The 2004 dime's design is a timeless representation of these values, continuing to honor the legacy of Roosevelt while simultaneously representing the enduring ideals of the nation. But while the design of the 2004 dime remains as iconic as ever, the true story of this particular coin comes from the circumstances surrounding its minting and the collectors who seek to uncover rare errors and find hidden treasures within what might seem like an ordinary piece of currency. To truly appreciate the 2004 dime, we must first understand how coins are made and the potential for errors in the minting process. The U.S. Mint is responsible for producing millions of coins each year, and the process is one of incredible precision. Coins are struck using engraved dies, with metal blanks carefully pressed between them to create the final design. While the Mint employs strict quality control measures to ensure consistency, errors do occur, and these errors can result in coins that are far more valuable than their intended counterparts. The most common types of minting errors are minor misalignments, weak strikes, or minor flaws in the die itself. But in some cases, more extreme errors can occur, such as the famous doubled die errors, where part of the coin's design appears doubled, or off-center strikes, where the design is shifted and parts of the coin's features are missing. In the case of the 2004 dime, there were a number of minting errors that sparked the interest of collectors. Among the most notable errors found on some 2004 dimes are doubled die varieties. A doubled die occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, or when a die is struck multiple times, resulting in a slight overlap of the design. This can lead to parts of the coin's design, such as the date or Roosevelt's profile, appearing twice, either as faint duplications or as more noticeable, shifted impressions. These double die coins are highly prized by collectors because they represent an imperfection in the minting process that cannot be replicated. For collectors, owning a double die coin is a treasure, as these errors are rare and difficult to find. Another error that collectors keep an eye out for on 2004 dimes is the off-center strike. An off-center strike happens when the metal blank is not perfectly aligned with the die during the minting process, causing the design to be shifted off-center. This results in a coin where part of the design is missing, and other parts are pushed to the edges, creating a coin with an uneven and distorted appearance. Off-center coins are some of the most sought-after errors in numismatics, as they offer a dramatic and visually distinctive variation of the standard design. The more extreme the off-center shift, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if it is in good condition. There are other types of minting errors to watch out for as well, such as die cracks, which create visible lines across the coin, or weak strikes, where part of the design appears faded or incomplete. These types of flaws are less dramatic than doubled die or off-center strikes, but they still have value among collectors, particularly those who are looking to add a variety of error coins to their collections. So why is the 2004 dime so interesting to collectors? The appeal of these minting errors lies in their rarity. While the vast majority of 2004 dimes are struck with precision and show no noticeable defects, the errors that occur are limited in number. A coin with a rare error is not only a collector's prize, but it also represents a moment in time when something unexpected happened in the minting process. In the world of numismatics, these errors are treasures, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that carries a minting mistake. Now, let's get to the big question: what is the value of the 2004 USA 1 dime coin, especially those with rare errors? While most 2004 dimes are worth their nominal face value of 10 cents, certain error varieties can be worth significantly more. A regular, error-free 2004 dime will only be worth 10 cents, but a rare error coin, depending on the type of flaw, its rarity, and condition, could be worth thousands of dollars. One particularly valuable 2004 dime with a major error has been known to sell for a staggering $88,000. Yes, you read that correctly. A single 2004 dime, once worth only 10 cents, can be worth as much as $88,000 if it carries the right minting flaw and is in excellent condition. The value of a coin like this is driven by factors such as the rarity of the error, the quality of the coin, and the demand from collectors who are always on the lookout for the next great find. But how does such a coin become so valuable? The rarity of minting errors like the double die or off-center strikes, combined with the demand from passionate collectors, creates a market for these coins where even a dime can fetch thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. As more collectors become aware of the potential value of coins like the 2004 dime, the market for these rare finds continues to grow, pushing up their prices. So, while the 2004 dime may seem like just another piece of change, it has the potential to be so much more. What starts as a simple 10-cent coin can, under the right circumstances, become a rare and highly valuable collector's item. For collectors, it's the hunt for these rare coins, the discovery of something unique, that makes the world of numismatics so exciting. And for those who are lucky enough to find a 2004 dime with the right error, it's a chance to hold in their hands a piece of history, a coin that, with the right buyer, could be worth more than most people could ever imagine. So, the next time you come across a 2004 dime, take a moment to inspect it closely. You never know, you could be holding a hidden treasure in your hands, one that could be worth thousands of dollars. In the world of coin collecting, rarity and error are everything, and with a coin as small and unassuming as the 2004 dime, anything is possible.